Hello and welcome to this week's video. I was gone last week, but I'm back again with something that I think is truly exciting. This week, I got access to ChatGPT plugins. If you don't know what ChatGPT plugins are, it's very much like an app store for ChatGPT. So now third-party developers can go on there and develop systems that connect to external services, and it means that it can do things that the original developers never thought of and can bring extra services to you, the end user. If you think of it very much like when the iPhone was first released. When the iPhone first came out, it was groundbreaking technologically, people liked it, but it was pretty much just an iPod with a phone attached to it. It wasn't something groundbreaking that changed the way that you thought about either the iPod or the phone itself. But then the App Store came out. When the App Store came out, suddenly it changed things completely. Third-party developers could come up with ideas that nobody had thought of before, and suddenly your phone could do all sorts of different things that you'd never thought about a phone doing before. In many ways, that's how ChatGPT plugins can work. ChatGPT was great in itself, but it was just an AI service that worked very well as a chat service. But if you add plugins to it, suddenly the possibilities become endless. Whatever a developer can think of, whatever a developer can connect it to, ChatGPT can then do. We've already seen with Bing Chat how amazing it is to suddenly have it connected to the internet and able to read websites and be able to build things and write things based on that. In many ways, that's what ChatGPT plugins is going to be able to do, but at a far greater level with third-party developer involvement. Before we go and take a look at ChatGPT plugins, I'm going to have to ask you, if you like what I do, if you like videos about AI, ChatGPT, other AI services, prompt engineering, the way that you can get the best out of AI services, then please subscribe. And if I provide value to you in this video, please like this video as well. Helps with the algorithm, and drop me a comment down below if you have any questions or just want to put your thoughts on ChatGPT plugins. So let's take a look at it. As we can see over here, this is ChatGPT. Nothing new, but at the top here, you can see plugins. Now, plugins is in alpha at the moment. It's pre-beta. It's not ready yet. It's not currently able to do everything that, it's not been tested widely yet. But it is being rolled out to more and more people, and the more people use it, the more we can learn about some of the bugs that it may have and be able to make it better. So when it does become available on wide release, it's able to do amazing things and hopefully has a few more apps available on it as well. If you use plugins, you can then choose your plugin from over here on the right-hand side. I've currently only got Speak, which allows you to learn other languages. It's able to teach you other languages using an external service. Again, ChatGPT can speak more languages than just English, but English is the only one that speaks really well. So if you were going to learn another language using ChatGPT, you might learn it wrong. So in many ways, this is going to allow people to use it to learn other languages, very much like how Duolingo introduced their service built using GPT-4. Underneath there, you've got the plugin store. Currently, there's 2 pages worth of plugins, which are all new, have all been built very early on. And at the bottom, you can see you can install an unverified plugin. That's available if you're a developer. You can install plugins that other developers have built and help them test them, or develop your own plugin, which is something that many people will be doing at the moment. So we'll take a look at how the plugins work. So we've got Speak already on here. So what I'm going to do is ask Speak to teach me some popular Spanish phrases and give me a pronunciation guide for them. Now, if you speak in some languages that don't have an English alphabet, and you're trying to learn those, what it will do is it will give you a pronunciation guide automatically, because I went Ukrainian the other day, and when I had it come up with some phrases for me, because it thinks that I probably don't speak the Cyrillic alphabet, it automatically gives me a pronunciation guide for them. For Spanish, it wasn't doing that for me, so I decided that it might be useful just to ask it to do it automatically for me. What's really good is if you have a look on here, what it does is it gives you some phrases. So as it says there, hola, como estás? It gives a few different phrases on there. And then what it does, which I really like, is it gives you a conversation in Spanish. So as you can see there, it has an example conversation. It tells you what everything says. So, hola Maria. I don't know how to pronounce those words. So unfortunately, I can't say it out loud. If you do speak Spanish, maybe you can tell me how silly I am for not being able to pronounce those. But if you take a look at it, what it does is it gives you what the conversation would be like. And I haven't used it much, but this here is far better than just asking ChatGPT to teach you another language. It gives you firstly the phrases, but then puts them into a conversation, which I think is really exciting. So if you go down here and say, can you help me with simple phrases I can use on holiday in Spain? What it will do then is once again connect to speak, and then what it will do is it will write out, similar to what it did there, it will give you a few phrases that it will put them into a conversation for you. Now, I do want to speak other languages. I only speak English at the moment. I know a bit of German and a bit of a few other languages, but not enough to be able to do anything at all if I went over to Germany or any other country. This here is quite exciting because it is going to allow you to be able to put together a conversation in Spanish that you can then maybe take away and use if you're on holiday. And that is really, really nice. I don't know why I put here someone trying to flirt with someone at a bar, but so it's a little bit forward. But again, it's something that is quite exciting when it comes to teaching a language. This is possibly why it's in alpha at the moment, because I don't think that if a child, for example, was using this, it would be appropriate to be teaching that conversation to a child. But it's still a good way of being able to explain little things, like it says here, in informal settings. It teaches you that you would do things a little bit different and put them in a more formal or less formal way. Again, it's an exciting service there to be able to teach people other languages, which is a really good use case for AI, because the hardest thing about learning another language is that you need to practice it with people. If you don't practice it with people, it doesn't matter how many words you know, you're never going to get any better at it. And this here can allow you to be able to maybe practice it with an AI service that can allow you to sharpen up, know when to use things, and give you feedback if you get things wrong. So if we then take a look at the new chat, we'll open up another plugin. I've only used Speak so far, but Zapier is one that I think would be really exciting for many people that like to automate things. And suddenly you can then connect ChatGPT to over 5,000 apps online, which is something that will be very useful for people in their personal life, but especially for businesses that want to be able to automate things and to use ChatGPT to be able to do that. But I'm going to take a look here at Expedia. That is something that I think is quite exciting, because it's going to be able to allow you to, for example, plan a holiday. You can have more than one available at a time, so that would be quite good that you could maybe use Expedia to be able to book a holiday, then learn a few phrases afterwards. Let's maybe try that. So I would like to book a holiday to Mexico in July. So what it's going to do now is it's going to, there we go. So it's asking me to say where I'd like to stay. I would like to travel to Mexico City. Now it's connected to Expedia, so that's going to then look online. Here we go, great choice. It's going to tell me a little bit about Mexico City. And there we go. It said 3-day stay from May the 8th to May the 11th. It's given me a few different hotels. Gives me the average price of it. Got some limited time offers on there as well, which is quite exciting. That's really good. That's really exciting. So let's try and see if I can make it a bit cheaper. My budget is $70 per night. Is there anything good in that price range? So now it's going to search Expedia again and see if you can find something. Now, if you think about how hard it is sometimes to be able to go online and find where you want to stay, using AI, this maybe does it a bit quicker for us. It's found some cheaper hotels for me. Check the reviews for me as well, which is nice. I think it's gone a little bit drastic there, going down from the price before, down to $16.15. It's maybe lower than I was probably thinking originally, but that's still really good. So if we then say, so I'm traveling from Middlesbrough in the UK, can you find me flights? So we're going to take a look here. It's going to now, once again, check Expedia for me. And then what it's going to do, couldn't find any. So we'll look from the airport. So my nearest airports are Newcastle, Leeds, and Manchester. I can also fly from London if there are no suitable flights. So what it's going to do now, once again, I'm going to go back to Expedia, and this I think is really exciting because this changes the way that you're going to be able to book a holiday. If you think about what you can use AI for at the moment, it's mainly business cases, and this isn't really a business case. This is a case that's a personal case. So I think that's a very exciting way to be able to use AI to do something on an easy basis, a much easier basis than it is to go to a website itself and have to set all these settings yourself. So it's giving me our flights there, quite expensive, but once again, we've got the 3 flights now that I could use. So if we now maybe say, what some activities I can do whilst in Mexico City. And there we go. It's given me 3 options of things that I can do. So I will say that this is a very exciting plugin. I didn't think about this kind of use case originally when I thought about what you could use AI for, but that is an extremely useful way of being able to plan a holiday, which is something we all have to do sometimes, and sometimes it's quite hard to be able to fit things that different people want to do. So for example, I'm a massive football fan, so is there anything soccer related that I can do in Mexico City? So we'll find out. As a football fan, could definitely do with being able to find things on here. Something else that I think is quite useful though for this, think if you've got a travel website, if you run a travel website at the moment, what could you do using this? You could take this part where it finds different things that you can do in an area, different tourist things to do, different sites that you can see, find the information using Expedia, and then write a blog about it. That is something that's really, I think, is a good use case if that's the sort of thing that you do, if that's your niche. And that's something that all these different apps that get added, these different plugins that go on there, might be able to allow you to do. So unfortunately, there wasn't, so there is. There's the Azteca, which is I believe is where Diego Maradona scored that amazing goal against England in 1986. And also the less amazing, but probably more famous, well, equally as famous goal, the first one. But if we take a look there, so Club America, one of the more popular soccer teams, amazing. Possibly going to see a match live, yeah. And then some museums, doesn't say any there, and it says there's some soccer themed restaurants and bars. I don't know where those would be, but again, useful. But then we've got 2 apps on there, so what could we do afterwards? I'm looking forward to visiting Mexico. Can you provide me with some useful phrases on my awful spelling? And let's see, it should now connect to speak. There we go. And what it's going to do is find me some useful phrases to speak when I am in Mexico. I mean, I'm not actually going. I'd like to go, but I don't think I will be. But again, so it's going there for some useful phrases, so different ways of saying hello. ¿Cómo estás? It's got Spanish there. Again, so that to me is already a way that you can use plugins. Now, I didn't know you could use more than one plugin in a conversation, but that is really exciting there, because what you can do is you can start off by finding out hotels where you can visit. You could probably start off the other way around, say the sort of thing you want to go to. That's what we'll try next. Let's give that a try. So what we'll do is we'll say, I'm looking to go on holiday somewhere with a lot of history, good weather, and something, and with a good football team I can go to watch. Travelling from Newcastle Airport, what would be some good destinations? It might not work well, but if it does work well, then that is quite exciting, because that is another way that you can start to use this service. Let's see if it's going to say it's going to find some. Okay, good. So when am I traveling? I'm not sure yet. I'm going to start off with a 3-day date range for about a month time. So same Barcelona. Okay. So hotels. Good hotel to be less than night. There we go. So I recommended Barcelona. So hoping for something that I maybe wouldn't have thought of myself, but Barcelona is a good one. I've never been to see Barcelona. I'd love to go to the new camp, so I'm hoping I've chose the right ground there, because it'd be bad if I hadn't. But yeah, so I'd love to go and see Barcelona play. But let's have a look there. So it's give me a hotel. Give me a price, tell me where it is. Once again, I think it's really exciting to be able to see that you could start with just a vague idea of where you want to go, and it could plan it all for you. That to me is really, really exciting. So there we go. So we can then look at flights once I've chosen a hotel. That to me is something that I'd never have thought of. That's what we say about it being like an app store. If you think about AI, my thoughts about AI have always been that you would start with AI as a way to improve your productivity at work, improve your productivity in running your business, speed up content creation, speed up the way that you do some research. I would never have thought of taking it to be able to book a hotel, being able to find a good holiday, but it does it really well. And I think that that's something that once this is rolled out widely, I mean, why wouldn't people use this? Let's take a look at one more plugin on here, and then we'll start to wrap it up. So we'll look on here. Wolfram is one that I haven't really thought of using, but let's take a look on here. I mean, Kayak would be one to go from there. You can do your flights on there as well. And then if you look at the next page as well, you've got some shopping. Actually, let's go for Open Table as well. Actually, let's put shop. Let's put them all on there for now. Let's start with shop and Open Table. So put those in. So I'm looking for a restaurant to book for my partner's birthday, beginning of May in Middlesbrough. So what this is going to do, again, this is going to find a restaurant. There we go. Let's look to Open Table. Again, unfortunately, it's come up with an error there, but I'm a bit unsure about that. So if we go for Italian food, like a Saturday evening. Once again, use Open Table, and hopefully this time we'll find me something. And it's found, unfortunately, an error there. So as we said there, it's in alpha stage at the moment, so there's going to be errors. But it has come back with some information on there. That's good. So I know about Southfield. I don't know about the other two. The one it says Billingham's, that's quite close to Middlesbrough. The Bluebell Hotel, that's not too far. That's in Middlesbrough as well. So it's got with quite a few options on there. And I think that does say about how even when it comes up with an error, it still finds a lot of different restaurants, sorry. But it's made a few mistakes on there, and that I think maybe isn't quite ready to go yet. But we'll take a look at the shop now. With the shop plugin, I don't know how this works, but let's have a look on here. I'm looking for some jewelry as a birthday present for my partner. So nice. So it comes up with some questions. So if we say a necklace, silver, so it goes to the shop and it finds me some good products there. So that, I think, it just says there that you can. AI is still new. It's still developing, and these plugins are also still developing as well. They're new services. So if we take a look at this, though, it's come up with some. I've asked it for something. It's come up with 5 different options for me. They might not be the right options, but these are from some shops that maybe I wouldn't have considered looking at. So if we take a look here, I haven't heard of any of those shops. So this could take me to somewhere that I never thought about, and it could give me some options that maybe I never have gone to myself. And that to me is a really exciting potential to be able to use it for things that maybe I wouldn't use AI for myself. I would never consider going and searching for jewelry or a present or booking a holiday using AI. To end this though, we'll take a look at one more thing, which is Wolfram. Now, I don't know about this, but I do know that some people have used Wolfram to be able to come up with a meal plan. So what I'm going to do is I'll add one more thing on here. I will add Instacart. There we go. So Instacart, I'm going to activate that and use it with Wolfram. So I'm starting a diet and workout plan this week, and I would like your help in keeping my meals at a calorie deficit of meal plan a healthy meal plan, and where I can get the food from in Middlesbrough. So I don't know if this works. This is a complete test. But I know someone online said about you can use you can use it as a way to do a meal plan. So as it says here, there we go. So straight away it's coming up with what I need. So my age is 37. I'm male. I don't know. Where I don't. My height is 6'1", and I work and I play football 2 nights a week. Well, so as you can see on here, it's using Wolfram to be able to do that. This I think is really exciting. I think this is a way of being able to use. So Wolfram has mathematical things in there, has different ways of being able to. I don't really know it, but I know that it's not really created to be able to. It's not created just for using doing a meal plan. But what it is there to do, it's there to, like with using AI for it, neither of these were built for this purpose. But by combining them together, it comes up with a unique use case that can really help people. Unfortunately, it has struggled a little bit, but it's still trying, and that to me is is something that is at this early stage of being able to do these things. It's exciting that it's able to already see a mistake and be able to to fix it. So let's come up with a sample meal plan. There we go. Now, if it can do this, then do the second part of being able to order the food for me as well. Well, that's quite exciting. Yes, please. Let's be able to do that. So even at this early stage, we've been able to start learning a language. We've been able to find out 2 holidays that we can maybe book to do different things, one to Mexico, one to Barcelona. We've then been able to find some birthday presents. And finally, we've been able to get a meal plan, and we've been able to get the food ready to be able to order to do it. That is really exciting. And this is just the start. If you think about it, this is in alpha stage. It's the first stage of wide testing. It's then going to go to a beta stage where it's going to be even wider tested, then to open beta testing, and then finally to the final release product. We're right at the beginning of that. We've already been able to do different things in one setting, be able to book a holiday, look for some birthday presents, learn a new language, and being able to create a meal plan and get a shopping list ready to be able to buy everything we need to carry out that meal plan. And that's on the second time I've used it. So if you haven't got access to this part of it yet and haven't joined the waiting list, immediately I'd say get down in the description. There's a link to the waiting list. Get yourself on that waiting list, and it took me a couple of weeks to get accepted, and it might take you about the same amount of time. But once you're in there, start using these yourself. And if you find a unique use case that I haven't thought of yet, drop that down in the comments. I'd be happy to test it out myself as well. So thank you for watching this video. As I said earlier in the video, please like and subscribe. Drop a message in the comments if you have any questions, and I'll be back again tomorrow where we're going to have a look at Claude, which is Anthropic's new AI service. And I'm going to compare that to ChatGPT and to Bard. So thank you once again for watching, and I hope this has been helpful for you, and I'll see you again next time.